going to show you about a company that enables you earn from airtime, data, and TV subscriptions just like the bank. Alright, so what this company says is this: when you register, you have access to a VTU portal. The same VTU portals the bank used to sell data, airtime, and TV sub. You have the same VTU. So what happens when you have the same VTU? The company says whenever you buy airtime from your own VTU portal, you earn 2% of that money. Whenever you buy data, you earn 10% for Glow, airtime, and non-mobile, and you earn 5% for MTN data. The company says whenever you sub for GoTV, StarTime, DSTV, PACN, you also earn 40 naira for the subscription as a personal user. Now, also, there's a second way to earn. This is what it means to have a team. When you register as a member and you get people on board through your own VTU portal, those people under you becomes member of your team. And each time any member of your team decide to buy airtime, you earn 0.35% of that person's airtime purchase. Meaning, if the person buys airtime of 5,000, you earn 0.35% from that amount to you. Now, what happens if anybody in your team decides to buy data? You earn 1% of that data amount. Now, if the person in your team decides to sub for GoTV, whatever subscription, you get 10 naira from the person's subscription. So this is how it works. You can either be a member, use your VTU for personal use, or you can become a member, build a team, and also earn from your team. Now, how do you build a team? The company says when you register, get 3 legs to come out of your own VTU portal. So this is what happens when Mr. A decides to register under you. Before that, as a registered member, you get 20% of your registration amount back into your VTU wallet. For example, the smallest amount you can register is 5,000 and the highest is 100,000. So if Mr. A decides to register with 5,000, Mr. A is given, he also earns 20% of his registration fee, which is 1,000. Mr. A also earns what we call PV, 20 PV. PV means point value. This point value will be used to award you your incentives. We'll get to that in a short while. Alright, so when Mr. A registers with 5,000, Mr. A gets 1K, which is 20% of his registration fee. Mr. A also gets 20 PV. Assuming Mr. A decides to register with 100,000 naira, Mr. A will get 20,000 naira, which is 20% of 100,000 naira. And also, Mr. A will get 400 PV. But let's work with the smallest amount. So, this is what it looks like. As Mr. A registers under you, you also earn 1,000 of Mr. A's registration, and you also earn the same PV Mr. A comes in with, which is 20 PV. Now, the same story goes for Mr. B. Mr. B comes with 5K. Mr. B earns 1,000, that is 20% of 5K. Mr. B also earns 20 PV. And you above Mr. B is going to have 1K and 20 PV as well, same as Mr. C. 20 PV, 1K, and here also 20 PV, 1K. So it means that these three persons are your direct referral. So you earn 20% from your direct referral. And this direct referral are your first level. How do you benefit from having a team? Let's see. There is an incentive of 15.5 million attached when you build your team. So this is what the company says. The company says, for you to build your team and for you to earn this 15.5 million, you must have 3 legs from your account. So what we said is this. We said make it 5 legs, so that if out of these 5, 2 decide to be dormant, these 3 will help you to build your team. So this is how it is. When you register, you sell your VTU portal to 5 persons. Then we're gonna teach these 5 persons to duplicate your effort. This is what I mean. This is you. You have 5 legs. So this is Mr. A. We're going to teach Mr. A how to also have 5 legs. Same as Mr. B. 5 legs, 5 legs, 5 legs, 5 legs for everybody. So what happened is this. These persons are your direct referral. They're on your first level. Then your first level get their 5 each. This will become your second level. Now same with this 5 to repeat the same thing. So these people here becomes your third level. Now, by the time you get to your 10th level, you're going to have 9.7 million persons on your 10th level. And on your 5th level, you're going to have 3,125 persons from this structure. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. Out of every persons on your level, let us consider these persons on your 5th level alone. I want to show you how you can earn money from your team. Okay, so out of these 3,125, any day just 3,000 decides to buy airtime. Let's talk about 100 naira airtime. I know that some persons buy 2,000 airtime, 5,000, even 100,000. But let's take the smallest. So when this happens, how much is generated here? Let's check. 3 times 1 is 3. Count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 300,000 is generated here. And this company says you have 0.35% of this money. So that will give us 0.0035. And if you point that on your calculator, all you have here is 1,050. So from my calculation, it means that in one day, you're going to make this amount of money when 3,000 persons from your 5th level only decides to buy 100 naira airtime. You make this in one day. Now, if you make this in one day, how much can you make in 30 days? And all I have here is 500. I don't know if you can see this. You have 31,500 naira on airtime in 30 days. That is 1 month.